Hello everyone, my name is Maria G with MGL Stamp Studios. Welcome back. Today is March of 2021 and wanted to highlight 5 templates to make use of your DSP Designer Series paper card scraps. So today I have 5 ideas. I want to highlight that our annual catalog is retiring April of 2022, which is a month away. And we all have a lot of DSP scraps and want to be able to use them. And let me share with you my ideas of how to do that easily and visually. So videos on, and the first one is Kylie Bertucci. Thank you, Kylie, for Love It Chop It. I am an avid Love It Chop It convert. I used to hoard a ton of 12 by 12 paper, and I had such a big stack that I could never see what I had. So what she advocates, and I am totally on board now on, is chopping your beautiful paper. So I will link that link below, but what you end up having is all these beautiful card fronts of your DSP, and it's ready to use. And these cases are cases that we also sell in the online store, so that's going to be linked as well. But today's focus is on these little strips and what to do with these, what I call livingly scraps. But we love them and we don't get rid of them. So that's what we're going to do today. And the next one, just for a storage standpoint, just wanted to highlight these cases. They do have a little insert where you could put something in here, and then I label them and be able to store them. That makes my storage so much easier. The next one is Lisa Curcio, and she has what's called the One Sheet Wonder for 6x6 paper. And again, that video is fantastic, and I've been using 6x6 paper a lot more because of her, so thank you as well, Lisa. And you see her dimensions. I actually have modified her dimensions so that they're consistent with the Love It Chop It. So Love It Chop It is more of a methodology of cutting your paper, and you can modify it for yourself or keep the same dimensions as her template. But I just wanted to share with you that I just keep it the same, so that I wanted to make sure that I was able to store these the same way as the 12 by 12. So what I did is I cut it to fit the card base that I enjoy. And whether you're doing the metric or other units, you could do the same. You'll end up with, and as I said, I modified Lisa Curcio's One Sheet Wonder so that I had a 2 strip and by 6, a 4 by 5 and 1/4, and then I end up with this 3/4 strip by 4, and these are considered my scraps, and this is my card base. So now I'm able to have a ton of card bases on that paper, and then these are my strips. So what to do with strips? That's my focus today. My strip, it is 1 by 6, and I have a lot of them now that I've cut all my beautiful DSP and I'm ready to go. I cut these strips into these squares that are 1 by 1, and the only reason I did that is because little squares are easier to play with and configure. And you get the idea that you can do that with any size you wish to play with, but the one key thing is to use vellum cardstock. The vellum cardstock is thick and high quality, so that if you end up wanting to use it as a card base, you can certainly do that. And you are visually moving the pieces around to a configuration that you like. And then you can use a sentiment to see placement, okay? And I have sons in my life that I love to make masculine cards, and it's really hard sometimes to come up with ideas that they would like or that I like, and at the same time use this beautiful DSP. So here's like a really quick idea, right? You were able to just move it quickly. So that's what I've done. I've used vellum cardstock as a visualization tool for all of these templates. So that said, here's the 5 that I came up with. The first one is what to do with that 2-inch strip, or if you use Lisa Curcio's One Sheet Wonder template, it's 2 1/4, which is half. I put it across, and then I put a 2-inch by 2-inch square in diamond configuration. It is visually pleasing that way, and you'll notice that you can move it around in landscape or in what I call portrait mode, and you're able to quickly visualize a card with a sentiment, and there you have a beautiful card ready to implement any base you want. So for example, here's that beautiful DSP from Trees. I think they're called Beautiful Trees, and you can see that you could visually tell that that DSP now is paired in this configuration, and you have a card. Okay. Similarly, you can change it with the altogether now paper, and if you wanted to visually see that, see, now you can see quickly that configuration. So you get the idea that you're able to see what the card will look like using your scraps, and it goes rather quickly. So that's pattern number 1. Okay. And again, think outside the box. You can use any DSP, any scraps, any color, even cardstock that you have extra. The second one is a 3-piece configuration with what I call a diamond shape, and you can move this around, and if you wanted to see it look on the bottom of a card or in the middle or on the edge, the vellum allows you to see through it, and that's what makes it really easy for you to visually see if you like that card. And again, if you have a sentiment, you can see it quickly and see if you like that. If you have a DSP piece that you want to add and visually kind of check out whether you like that, here's that one from that one set that I showed you, which was Expressions in Ink DSP, and see, now you can see what that would look like really quickly. So that was the aim, is for you to be able to make a decision quickly. That's number 2. Number 3, let me take this out, is a simple 3 squares and a strip, which came out of that One Sheet Wonder, or sometimes you just have extra, right? And you've cut something, and again, you can put a sentiment, and it's visually quick to see and see if you like it. So that's another reason why you would want to be able to do this quickly. And just for comparison, I'm going to add the DSP in green, and then here you see you have a quick card, and there you go. So that's number 3. The 4th one is what I call 3-box configuration, and instead of cutting it into a strip with 6 pieces, I chose to do 1 by 2, and then I used the scrap across, and look at how quick. You just add a sentiment in the middle, and there you have a card. If you want to simplify it, you take out the DSP, and now you have really clean lines, so to speak. If you want to add an image to it underneath or on the side, I mean, you can kind of get the idea that you can play with this really quickly. So in essence, it becomes card templates that complement Kylie Bertucci's card template layers. So I was thinking how to do this quickly, and there you can visually see that. And I apologize for the shadow, but I just wanted to kind of show you on a video. And then the last one is what I call an arrow configuration. So the arrow configuration is here, where I took the 6 pieces and I lined them up in this configuration. And if you think, oh wow, I can't do that, that'd be really hard to do, here's my trick. I used the grid in the back from Stampin' Up, and I used a scrap piece of paper. I don't like to measure because I measure everything in my life. I'm an engineer, so I prefer my creative outlet to not have to think about numbers and figures. So what I do here is I use this as like a T-square, and I put the little square, and then I can move it across to be parallel to the first one, and then I can see if the distance between them are the way I visually like it. And then the second one, the third one here, and so on, you are able to place these. And then I can move the strip once these are laid down, and then move across this way parallel to this side. And you see, if you want to tack it down with some tape that's less tacky, you can do that as well, and then be able to move it across to get perfect placement. So that was my trick on that. I didn't want to spend a lot of time measuring because I like to have fun. And again, this I call an arrow format. And you know, here's just a sample. How you see, you could visually put a card base, any card base underneath it, and you get a completely different view of it. Okay, so that's all the templates. I think I have all 5. So I have this one, I had showed you this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here are some samples for you. So here's the one with the 3. I made the and that's this one right here. I made it bigger, and I embellished it a little more for the Avid stamper that has an embossing machine, and I just added some embellishments and used some DSP and a nice quick card. Okay, the next sample is the one with the triangle, which is this one, and I have the 3, I keep saying triangle, it's really a square. So the 3 squares, and then you have the sentiment on the bottom, and I actually used the vellum this time, so just to see how quick that was. And then here's another sample with the, I call the arrow, and I used the black, and I made the another small layer of the I think it's polished pink pop, and then I added the pieces right there of scrap across, and then I've added a sentiment just to make it stand out. And finally, I used this one with the 3 pieces. I believe that was really simple. I just moved and juxtaposed the middle one to go up a little higher so that they're not the same level, and added a bow to represent kind of gifts, and trying to make a masculine type of card. So there you are. Just wanted to show you the use of your scraps, and you can make some cards that are pretty nice simply by using vellum cardstock to visually see how you want to place your cards. So there you are. You have the 5, and here's my card samples, and I hope this encourages you to use your scraps and think it's not that hard to create something beautiful out of your scraps. And use up your paper, because that's the point, to share the love of all your cards with all your family and friends. So have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining me.